What do you have?
Suspected Times Square bomber Faisal Shahzad has ties to the Taliban, we understand, and was attempting to kill Americans, as you know. So why is the mainstream media, so many other apparatus out there, so sympathetic? Listen.
Faisal Shahzad seemed to be living the American dream. Wife, 2 kids, nice house in the suburbs. Even his signature seems to suggest optimism. It appears a heart is dotting the I in Faisal.
It can be confirmed that his house was foreclosed on in recent years. I mean, one would have to imagine that that brought a lot of pressure and a lot of heartache.
He became a U.S. citizen just a year ago, but he has not realized any American dream. He quit his job, lost his house, and was separated from his family.
Rick and Tamara are here talking about this. Rick, first off, are you surprised that they don't just call this guy an Islamic terrorist, an Islamic extremist? What is the deal with the American dream went awry?
Well, first of all, it's this administration that's not calling people terrorists. It's this administration that wants to put the 9/11 mastermind in the same courthouse as Martha Stewart. I mean, we've got to start calling it what it is, and we have to start putting the pieces together. I think Rick picked up on one great point, which was, let's try to put these pieces together. Maybe the feds had some pieces. They clearly didn't put it together, and I want to start holding people accountable. I want to see somebody at the State Department who approved this visa held accountable.
Brian, I think there's actually kind of a comical element to this. I mean, this is obviously extremely serious, but the guy's a bumbler. I mean, we learned a new detail this morning. He parked a getaway car nearby, and he left the keys in the smoking car, and he took a train back to Connecticut. I mean, it's really sort of comical. And there's another interesting thing here, which is, you know, journalists look on social networks now to learn about people, and this guy has profiles up on the internet and stuff, and you know, so people are seeing him sort of in his home element, and I think that, you know, it just sort of makes it seem like he's one of us in a way, much more than Tim McVeigh ever seemed like one of us.
Tamara.
I think that what's comical is that this man was able to park 2 cars in very populated areas. We let him slip through the cracks. He boarded a plane. What's comical is how lazy we are, and it has nothing to do with the visa as much as it has to do with all of our intelligence.
I mean, you're right. You're right. You know, you're right that we've got more coming probably. But let's keep in mind, you know, a vendor within a couple of minutes of this car getting parked said something's not right here and called the cops.
Okay, but it could have been
he walked through the
second.
TSA to JFK. He walked through TSA.
That's a problem. No doubt.
At JFK.
Right.
Yeah,
I got searched like crazy when I go through.
Well, Tamara, I know your lazy theme, and I can't argue with it, but in this in particular, this guy is not upset with the economy. He's not frustrated in his arranged marriage. He's not because he's not utilizing his master's degree and getting a job he wants. This guy's a radical Islamic extremist, just like the 9/11. Why don't we
unemployed for 5 months going back and forth to Pakistan?
Not say that that we should have sympathy for somebody who's lost their home when millions of Americans have lost their homes.
But they don't turn into terrorists.
I agree. I'm agreeing with that. So the question was about being sympathetic to this man. There's no reason why we should be sympathetic, but it involves our collective efforts here. We cannot just blame the State Department. We cannot just blame the Obama administration. It involves a lot of people. And the terrorists came to the country before President Obama was president.
Look, that may be true, but the simple fact is this administration is sending the message that we're just not going to play in this area.
Especially if it turns out he was pulled off this watch list and they pulled off his tail. I think that would be an issue. We'll have to see. Rick and Tamara, thanks so much.
Thanks,
Thank
Brian.
you.
All right, hey guys, what have you